Hi, this is Michael Forrest. This is my alpha test out video. I'm going to be doing the snatch today. So here is the first part, which is going to be the snatch at 25% of my body weight. Alright, perfect. So now we're going to teach someone how to go through the actual snatch progression itself. First part of the snatch you're going to do is you're going to do the warm-up. You're going to do a two-part upper body warm-up. So you want your hands slightly wider than the shoulder position. You want the bar resting at your hips. First one we're going to do is we're going to do pass-throughs. So around the back, touch your butt, back to forward. And once more. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do around the worlds. 1, 2, and other direction. 1, 2. Alright. After that, we're going to go into your lower body warm-up. Lower body warm-up is going to be a yogi squat. Squatting down, keeping your chest up. Going to keep your eyes looking forward. You're going to be pressing out on your knees with your elbows. Stay down here for just a minute. Perfect. Alright, so now that we have that done, we're going to go into your overhead squat. Overhead squat is going to be one of the fundamental movements you need to be able to know how to do in order to do a snatch correctly. So, overhead squat. Going to get our hands, we're going to put them at wider than shoulder width apart, bars resting at your hips. Feet are slightly wider than shoulder width position, toes pointed out. We're going to make sure that in the actual overhead squat position, the crook of your elbow is pointed up, eyes are looking forward, chest is up. Okay, so down, and one more. Good. So now what we're going to do, now that we have covered the overhead squat, is we're going to go teach a snatch progression. We're going to start from the bottom, work our way down, so that way we can teach each movement separately, so there isn't any confusion. But before we get into the actual progressions themselves, we're going to start by teaching what triple extension is. Triple extension is going to be part of the movement, so you're going to extend your ankles, knees, and hips. And you're also going to shrug your shoulders during the actual movement, but we'll get to that in a second. So first part of the movement is going to be receiving position. Receiving position, you're going to get like you're about to do an overhead squat, and at this point you're going to practice getting under the bar and catching it in that receiving position. One more. Perfect. So after that, you're going to go into your finishing pull. Finishing pull is where you're going to add in your triple extension. So next we're going to go down to your second pull. Your second pull is going to start just above your kneecaps. It is going to start at your finishing pull, or end at your finishing pull. And finally, we're going to go down into first pull. First pull is going to start down near the ground. Bar is going to be about an inch in front of your shins. So we go first pull, second pull, beginning of finishing pull, and receiving pull. A couple of the major things that you want to make sure and watch out for when you're doing this. Make sure you have proper form. 1, pull from the heels. 2, make sure your elbows are loose. 3, you want to make sure you're using a hook grip whenever you start. You're not going to do this once you get into the actual overhead squat position, but you're going to do it at the start of your initial lift. You want to make sure that you're keeping the bar close to your body the entire way through, going in a fish hook pathway. So should stay close to you all up until you flip over into your overhead squat. So like I said, make sure your feet are slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and then we're going to progress into the auxiliary movements. But first, let's go through an actual entire movement itself. Okay, so now we're going to go into the auxiliary lifts. Auxiliary lifts are going to help improve your overall lift itself, or help you build up to the lift if you can't do it at the moment. So First one we're going to do is we're going to do power snatches. Power snatch, you are going to start at your first pull, and you are going to catch it in a quarter squat. Second auxiliary lift we're going to do are hang snatches. Hang snatch, you're going to start at your second pull. You're going to catch it in overhead position, and you're going to go down below parallel. Third pull you're going to do are snatch pulls. Snatch pull, you're going to start at first position. You're going to come up into your finishing pull. And finally, we're going to do muscle snatches. Muscle snatch, you are going to start at your second pull to where the bar is at mid-thigh, and you are going to go into your receiving position without replacing your feet. So, and then just a couple of common mistakes you want to avoid. Make sure there's no hard hip contact. Make sure you're not using too much of your arms. Make sure you're not jumping too far forward, and make sure you watch your feet position. And that is my snatch video.